The Dow futures are up significantly after hours. But why? Wall Street's trying to figure out the reaction, and could it be tied to vaccination rates going up? Or could it be tied to something else? Meantime, why are vaccination rates being used potentially by the Biden administration in determining stimulus relief and not unemployment numbers? In this video, I'll be going over the confusion about that and interest rates and how that's hitting no less than Wall Street, but also Capitol Hill. It's a great new morning. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here, and let's get to it on the 6:30 edition of Early Mornings LALATE. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Early Mornings LA. How are you? How was your Monday? Hope you're good and safe. Well, Tuesday's upon us, and now we will potentially see the third stimulus package bill today. $1,400 stimulus check for individuals, $3,600 stimulus check for children, and more. I have all the details across the board, but make sure you first subscribe. Also, like this video. And if you're not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcito VIP. The link to become a member is at the top of the description or also in the pinned comments. Meantime, over there is a super chat. You can chat with your Purple Power buddies and chat about what you think is going to happen this week. Ultimately, the focus is really seeing this bill because the bill will determine things that we've not seen throughout the course of the last few weeks. And this recording, I'm going to go over confusion about SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, and veterans benefits. I'm going to go over confusion about hazard pay, EIDL grants, and confusion about PPP as more. And with that, there's so much happening. Let's get right to it without a delay. And the breaking news. The breaking news as you start the new morning is that Wall Street's trading up in after hours, and no one can particularly see why. There is renewed focus even after Jerome Powell said he's not raising interest rates, there's no risk of inflation, and that unemployment numbers are going to be poor for quite a long time. The concern is whether that translates into stimulus. Dennis Dubuchor, strategist at Evermore ISI, said in the email obtained by LALATE overnight that COVID is far from defeated, but the path towards economic normalization is clear, and more vaccines that reduce the hospitalization and eliminate fatalities are approved. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen's forceful arguments for additional stimulus, followed by Fed Chair Jerome Powell's describing maximum unemployment as our national goal, helped lifted bond yields, inflation expectations, and oil prices last week. Well, I don't know if I necessarily agree with the comment. Let's go to this first part. Let's go to the second part of the comment. Jerome Powell's comments lifted inflation fears? No, Jerome Powell specifically said that he does not see any near-term inflation. Second, he said that interest rates will not be raised just because of long-term unemployment numbers continuing to permeate. And then finally, the first sentence has some issues with it as well. It says that the path towards economic normalization is clear as more vaccines will reduce hospitalization. No, the path to economic normalization is not guided by vaccination rates. Here's the confusion that's coming from both Wall Street and the Capitol. Vaccination rates will increase from 10% to 70% between now and July. But that doesn't mean that the economy is going to improve from 10 to 70% between now and July. The economy's own response to vaccination rates is undetermined. And it's the only thing that we do have based upon the current status are two comments from two leading economists who both say that unemployment will not return to normality this year. They are Janet Yellen and Jerome Powell. So if unemployment is not going to return to normality in 2021, then the rise of vaccination rates from 10 to 70% between now and July is inconsequential. It doesn't mean that there's need for less or more stimulus. Rather, the need for stimulus is tied to unemployment, and that's not improving. Moreover, Dubuchor's claim that there will be economic normalization, and its path is now seen is untrue. Economic normalization is not the same as business normalization. Sure, business normalization may be upon us, the ability to reopen, the ability to go into businesses, the ability to operate businesses like we did before. But there's a key question which concerns stimulus, and that is jobs. There may not be jobs. 450,000 jobs and businesses have been lost. 450,000 businesses have been lost because of the pandemic. So when vaccination rates go up, doesn't mean those 450,000 job businesses are going to be around anymore. They're still not going to be around. Economic normalization is not upon us because vaccination rates grow. Rather, we have to see how we respond. The stimulus package has a $1,400 stimulus check. $2,800 married couple, $1,400 for individuals, $1,400 for adult dependents. It's not particularly robust because we were promised $2,000 plus $1,400. But the confusion about SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and railroad benefits continues to permeate. And in this video, I'll explain what's going on. I understand where people's hearts are. Joe Biden said you were going to get $200 a month on top of your SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and railroad benefits, plus up to a 20% increase, plus a new benchmark different than COLA, which would be CPIE. Now, you know he made that representation. You know when he made that representation. You know what the representation was. And since then, people ask on a regular basis, what's the update? And I always say the update is there is no update. There is no update because the Biden administration has gone silent. The Warren team has gone silent. The Schumer team has gone silent. The update is there is no update. But along the way, I've taken a look and tried to see, well, are people coming to this channel after a realm of confusion somewhere else? It appears they are. Yesterday, one person thought that it'd be inventive to have a title that said just in SSI, SSDI, $2,400. Wow, just in? What's just in for the $2,400 of SSI and SSDI? Does it mean that the $2,400 is just into your bank account? Does it mean the bill is just in? Does it mean there's something new that just happened that's just in? In fact, there's nothing just in. In fact, there's nothing that happened. There's nothing just and there's nothing in. Nothing has happened just anytime soon about the $2,400 of SSI and SSDI. In fact, the author of that recording couldn't show you anything that just happened because nothing had just happened about SSI and SSDI. There was literally no update about the update. Now, what that person did in the video was certainly look at the same documents which I've detailed for you from last year. But that's not an update. The update is that there's no update. The person, however, took it another notch. The person then showed you a bill that was written by Elizabeth Warren in March of 2020 and said, here's a bill. And that person was not alone. Another person yesterday authored a new video that said, I have a big update for you about SSI and SSDI. Let me show you something. And stay with me to the end of the video because I have a big update about something new about SSI and SSDI. I was excited. I thought maybe there was something I had missed that I could report to you as well. And I saw in the comments, thank you for the big updates. So I listened attentively. And what did I hear? Well, the person showed me a bill from 2020. A March 2020 bill, the same bill that the other person has shown me. Now, this is what's important to understand. Bills that are introduced during a session of Congress mean nothing after that Congress session is done because the bill is dead. The bill does not come back to life when they happen to walk in the room next year. The bill's session is dead when the session is over. A bill that's introduced in a 2020 session of Congress is over when the session's over. So in 2021, it's irrelevant to cite to a bill that never got called for a vote, never saw the light of day, never saw anything because the bill's dead. It's the equivalent of me saying, go look at a 1972 Cutlass down the corner in the showroom. One hasn't been in the showroom since 1972. And so why would I say go look at something that doesn't exist anymore? That's the first thing. The second thing that's very fascinating about this is that the person seemed to suggest that the implications or the momentum or the nuances or the discussion of what was happening in March is indicative of what's going to happen now. No. In fact, viewers of this channel have specifically learned that momentum of bills are happening at that very moment. If there was momentum about a bill in March of 2020, that momentum is not there now. And moreover, someone said as well that, well, the bill was introduced in March when the Republicans controlled the Senate. Now the Democrats control it. So there's hope that this can get passed. No, there's no hope. There's no bill. The bill's dead. The bill does not have hope. It has not been reintroduced. Now, if a bill is reintroduced, rewritten, and introduced to the Senate floor in 2021, then we have just in. Then we have breaking news. But until we have that, we don't have anything. Additional confusion stemmed as following. The person said, stay to the end of the video. I have a big update for you about SSI and SSDI. Well, I thought, if that's not the update I've already got, then let me see what I'm going to see. So I waited to the end. And at the end, the person said, well, the big update is, there is no update. I thought, oh, wow, that's a new one. And to which the person said, I don't think you're going to see anything till next year. Well, that's sort of negative after a lot of false promises. Ironically, it only takes one day and one piece of paper to introduce a bill. Elizabeth Warren can reprint that same bill from 2020 and just change the date on top of it and put it into the House, the Senate tomorrow or any day of the week. It's as simple as that. It's not a difficult process to introduce a bill. It is a difficult process to call it for a vote. It is a more difficult process to get enough votes in favor of the bill. But to introduce a bill, it's nothing. It's literally like putting a stamp on an envelope and putting it in the mail. So understand, until a bill is actually set up with the support of Chuck Schumer and Elizabeth Warren and everyone involved that needs the requisite number of votes, that is introduced to the Senate, and you have enough senatorial people lined up for it, then there is no update. And certainly looking at something from 2020 is not indicative as well. On this channel, I detail a lot about what was promised to you in 2020 and then carried over as a promise into 2021. But that is different than signing something as 2020 as indicative that it's going to happen. The Cash Act of 2020 was supposed to give you $1,400 plus more, but it's not going to happen because that bill's dead. As always, stay informed, stay focused, stay with LALATE for more, and I'll see you on Mornings LA.